I have a wonderful electronic invention I want you to see. It looks something like this.
End use or primary energy, part 2. Some people prefer to work the end use angle of the energy equation. But what's the difference? Let's consider this simple diagram from left to right. Primary energy is the input. We convert this primary energy into electricity, chemical fuels, or heat. And these are then put to use. The measure by which we make stuff work is end use. Think about gasoline being ignited to propel a car, or the electricity being used to run your refrigerator. But there's more to it than that. Conversion ratios matter. Transmission losses matter. And end-use efficiency matters. If you turn electricity into hydrogen, for instance, you may lose as much as 50% of the original energy during conversion. If you generate 100 gigawatt hours at a plant and must send that electricity for thousands of miles across the country, you end up with 90 gigawatt hours of practical energy on the other side. That's a 10% loss of energy during transmission. Or consider, for instance, the combustion engine. Less than 1/3 of the energy that is put into the engine comes out as work. The rest is expelled as heat and thus lost. End use is an interesting metric, but it doesn't tell you the entire story. If we consider these energy flow or Sankey diagrams, we see that roughly half of all the energy that is put into our civilization doesn't end up getting used effectively. If we take this diagram, we have consumed about 110,000 terawatt hours effectively at the point of consumption and use. Here are some simple figures just to put it into perspective. The OECD has about 3 times the amount of end use as the non-OECD has. However, if the non-OECD manages to maintain status quo, we will end up needing 10,000 terawatt hours more by 2050, when the world has reached somewhere around 8.5 billion people. I suspect that the OECD might be able to cut some of its end use, but the non-OECD is going to grow. And if they manage to catch up with the OECD and get parity, the combined end-use energy consumption is going to explode. By switching over to different technologies and making transportation more efficient and such, the OECD might be able to cut 20 or 30% of its end use. But non-OECD is a different story. The non-OECD may be able to enter this stage at higher efficiencies, but that doesn't mean they will be able to use less. More humans requiring more water, food, shelter, services, and goods means that we need much more energy, and this is taking it through without accounting for efficiency, conversion losses, transportation losses, etc. So the primary energy measure is still relevant. You have to extract the energy and convert it after all. Thank you all for watching and have a nice day.